damage factor 500. Like really? We are in 2024, this is the latest generation cavalry commander and the damage factor 500. I'm gonna show you something. Look. It's ready right here. Kusunoki, bro. A freaking epic from years ago. Bro, I wish I would be more hyped about this new cavalry commander because, you know, our new account is going to be pure cavalry account. However, this new Prime Belisarius, I'm not going to say good or bad, but he is extremely disappointing, at least in my opinion, for majority of the players, and I will explain why just in a second. Now, looking at his skills, the first one, and this is his best skill by the way, and even this is very disappointing. Now, it says deals direct damage to a target troop, damage factor 2400, insane. For the next 2 seconds, the target loses 50 rage per second, really good. If the target is surrounded, it's inflicted with the deception effect for 5 seconds, and deception means their active skill now requires 200 more rage to use. On paper, it's an amazing skill, massive damage and rage reduction plus rage requirement increase. Even though the skill is really good, the disappointing part of it is, if you take a look at the latest and greatest commanders in Rise of Kingdoms, and mainly for infantry I would say Scipio and Luiche, and for archers, Zhu Liang and Herman. What do they have in common? They deal massive AoE damage, not single target. I know cavalry is not famous with their AoE damage in Rise of Kingdoms, however, considering the fact that the previous cavalry commander, open field cavalry commander Ho Chu Bing, was also single target, and the meta is filled with AoE commanders, I was honestly expecting a good AoE cav commander. I mean, yes, we have Joan of Arc, XY is kinda outdated, and we also have it's a weird AoE, but still an AoE on William, but that's about it. And Belisarius, pretty much everyone expected an AoE cav commander, and we got another high single target damage, so even though the skill is good, it is definitely not meeting the expectations. Ideally, you want to pair AoE with AoE, so you want to have 2 AoE skills like Scipio Liuche, or as I said, Herman and Zhu Liang. But for cavalry, you can at least go 1 AoE, 1 single target like Nevsky John, Ho Chu Bing William. But Belly, I mean, I'm going to pair him with XY, probably because like his kit really fits XY, but XY himself is outdated. Just from looking at the first skill, if you do already have an expertise XY, yes, you can, like Belisarius can bring him back, but if you don't, does it really worth also investing on XY just to make Belisarius work good on the field? I don't know. Let's go to the next one, Pressed Advantage. This commander's cav units gain 30% attack and 20% march speed, very mediocre I would say. Whenever this commander's troop exit combat, cav units in their troop gain 60% march speed for 5 seconds. I mean, 60% march speed for 5 seconds is OP. It practically says that you're not going to catch this march, but is that really what I'm looking for field fighting? Obviously, he's going to be a really good arc carrier in Arc of Osiris. A skill damage and march speed is very nice in Arc of Osiris, but are we really going to invest on a commander? As, by the way, when I say majority of people, I'm saying like free plays, low spenders, or even mid spenders who are closer to low spending rather than high spending. Are we really going to invest on Belisarius just to carry Arc? I don't think so. Like, is this commander a like top tier farm killer? I don't know. To the last man, this commander's cav units gain 25% defense. Okay. While this commander's troop is on the map, whenever it launches a basic attack, it has a 10% chance to deal extra direct damage to the target. Cooldown 5 seconds, damage factor 500. Like really? We are in 2024, this is the latest generation cavalry commander and the damage factor 500. I'm gonna show you something. Look. It's ready right here. Kusunoki, bro. A freaking epic from years ago. 10% chance again, 5-second cooldown again, but he deals 450 additional damage factor to the target for 2 seconds. This is for 2 seconds. Yes, we do have the defense on Belisarius skill, 25% defense, but come on, like, I'm comparing an epic from years ago to a latest legendary. This is insane. Let's take a look at his final skills, Pacification of Nika. This commander's troops take 10% less skill damage, which is really nice. If this commander's troop is attacking another troop on the map, and the target troop has less than 80% units remaining. I mean, most of the time you don't want to attack people with full health anyways. This commander's troop deals 30% more skill damage. I think this is a decent skill. The expertise Roman devotion, if the current target of this commander's troop is surrounded, increases the damage received based on the number of troops. 3 troops 6%, 4, 9 and 5 troops 12% more damage. Now 12% is not that much as a number, however this damage taken is all damage, and this is quite powerful, like really powerful, because when you think about open field, even though you don't use 5 marches yourself, there's a high chance that other people also hitting the same target, because if you are selecting the correct target, that means that's either the most priority target or the most vulnerable at that time. Maybe they overextended or something, so there's a high chance that other people will also hit that march. On top of that, this is really good for swarming, obviously, but swarming structures is not for low spenders, it's not for free-to-play, obviously, or maybe not even for mid-spenders. It's for Krakens and high spenders, because I tried it once and definitely, like, it was a disaster. Clearly, this is really good for swarming. It's going to help you a lot also in the open field to increase your damage. However, Belisarius in general, like, his active skill, as I said, looks really good, but it's not AoE, which is a bummer. And the next disappointing thing about him is that when they release a pair of commanders, they almost all the time, they release one for field fighting, and the other one is usually for a rally or garrison commander. And this one, Belisarius, is the field commander, so even if the other cav commander is, let's say, really good, it's not going to matter for vast majority of people, because as I said, it's going to be either a rally or a garrison commander, and free-to-play low spender, whatever, mid spenders, we care about field fighter commanders, not rally, not garrison commanders. So that is the second thing. And the third one is, looking at his skills, he actually doesn't have any insane synergy with other cav commanders. This is the con side, but the pro side, the benefit is that he is versatile. The only thing that limits him is obviously his talent trees. Cavalry, versatility, mobility, this is so bad. The reason why this is bad is because this means for fighting, for mobility, yes, and here's another reason why he's going to be really good in Ark of Osiris as an arc carrier. You don't want to use this commander as primary at all. So this commander has to be, this is a massive limitation, this commander has to be a secondary for field fighting. And his skills doesn't really, like, when you read his active skill, his second skill, third skill, doesn't matter. It doesn't click, right? It doesn't light a bubble. You don't say, wait, this is going to work so good with Nevsky or insane with Ho-Tubing. No, there is nothing like that. But also, the good side is, he is going to be, as a secondary, he has to be a secondary, but he's going to be versatile. You can pretty much pair him with anyone you want. His active skill is really good, but it is not an AoE. His second skill, I don't even know, bro, like 30% attack, 20% march speed, and on top of that, like extra 60% march speed to just get away or maybe catch others. It's just bad. The next one, the active damage with 10% chance, 500, this is like a joke. Pacification of Nika is, in my opinion, good. Roman devotion is going to be extremely powerful, but in certain scenarios. So I would say Belisarius in general, unfortunately, at least to me, he's very disappointing. Yes, he's going to be insane for some players, but he's definitely not on the level of Zuge, Luce, Herman, not even Scipio Prime, who was obviously an earlier generation commander. But if you really want to invest on Belisarius, I already touched on that when reading the first skill, I would say you definitely can pair him with XY. However, it's a good investment if you already have a max XY and he's sitting on your bench. XY primary, Belisarius secondary. The first thing is that now you are able to pair an AoE with a single target damage, just like Nevsky, John, Ho-Tubing, William, because XY brings the AoE damage. The second thing is, with this rage reduction and also rage requirement increase, you clearly always want to be the first one who is firing the active skill, and since XY has reduced rage requirement, most likely you're going to fire your active skill way before than other marches, so that is another good synergy. And since you are increasing the skill damage, and you are dealing that skill damage over and over again, like very rapidly with XY, that is the third synergy. Maybe you can also say, like, there is another synergy with Joan of Arc, because with Pacification of Nika you are increasing your skill damage bonus, and with Joan of Arc you are using your active skill twice, so basically you are benefiting from this twice. However, maybe also Justinian, but no. To wrap it up, I would say if you do have an already max XY sitting on the bench, or maybe you are pairing him, your XY, you are still using him, and you pair him with like a mediocre commander, then yes, Belisarius could be a good investment for you. X5 Beli, I think it's going to work really good. But other than that, yeah, he's a good art carrier. He's going to be good for farm killing, if that's something that you care about in the end game. That's crazy. Hope you guys liked it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I see you on the next one. But as I said, the next commander, even though he is going to be, or she will be, like, let's say really good, doesn't really matter because it's either going to be a rally or a garrison commander. See you on the next one. Goodbye.